Hello everyone, and welcome back to another podcast. Today is another special podcast, as joining me is Middlesex and Oval Invincibles cricketer, Nathan Sowter. So Nathan, first things first, thank you very much for joining me, and how are you doing today?
Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm doing alright. Just not long got home from training, so a bit tired, but ready to do this. It should be good.
Well, yeah, thank you very much for doing this. It means a lot. So, could you just tell me a bit about yourself, like who you play for, where you were born?
I was born in Sydney, Australia, with an English mother, an Australian father. So, and I've been over here since 2013.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm currently at Middlesex, and yeah, that's where I am at the moment. That's the club. So I've been through the second team, and obviously now playing a bit of first team cricket in the T20s mainly. But yeah, it's been good fun.
So you play all three formats of the game, don't you? But T20 is your main one. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, obviously the one-day competition this year I didn't play because I was away at the 100.
Oh,
but
yeah,
mainly the white ball stuff at the moment. So, but yeah, hopefully we change of direction at the club in recent times that maybe I can get myself back in the picture of red ball, which would be nice because it's the pinnacle of the game, and you want to play all formats to make yourself more versatile.
Yeah. So Middlesex. So when did you sign your first professional contract with Middlesex, and how did that make you feel?
I signed my first contract, which was a month-long contract in 2015.
Oh yeah.
It was all a bit of a whirlwind. I literally signed my contract and then played that same night, and I had a month contract just for the blast at that time, because I think Ravi Patel might have broken his hand at the time. So yeah, I kind of got drafted in from the second team. I was kind of trialling, and then it was all a bit of a whirlwind experience that it happened so quickly, and I got injured myself, which was unlucky, but it was just one of them things, yeah.
So in your debut for Middlesex, in your first 4 balls, I think you got 2 wickets. That must have felt pretty damn good, like a dream debut, you know, getting 2 wickets in your first 2 balls and then winning the game quite convincingly as well.
Yeah, that was, like I said, it was a bit of a whirlwind. It's a bit of a blur that day or that night as well, because I think I got to Lords at maybe 9:30 in the morning. The game wasn't until probably 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I literally had to sign some contracts, had to do some stuff with the club. So I had a long day thinking, then I finally got told I was playing at probably maybe 5:30 by Eoin Morgan, which was a very special moment. And then obviously, we batted first and we done quite well. And then we were kind of going through Kent at the time, and I didn't think I was going to get a bowl. And then they were 8 down, I got a bowl. Yeah, and got two wickets in 4 balls, which is an experience I'll never forget. It was an incredible night. Yeah,
that's pretty good. I must admit, getting 4 balls and 2 wickets on your debut, because I believe you bowled out Kent for 90.
Yeah, we bowled him out for about 90. I'd say. I think we might have got 200, or Paul Sterling got I think maybe 97 or something like that. That's incredible.
That's a pretty good debut. I must admit.
Yeah.
So, Middlesex's home ground is Lords, arguably one of the most prestigious grounds in the world. Like, how did that feel, stepping out onto that pitch for the first time? Because that must have felt special. Because loads of people played there, and it's just one of those grounds where every player dreams of playing.
Yeah, exactly. I think any cricketer that's ever played the game or loves the game or knows enough about it knows the meaning behind Lords. So yeah, that was obviously, even sitting here talking to you right now, I'll get goosebumps thinking about that moment.
Yeah.
It was like I said, it was a bit of a blur that day, but yeah, it's every time you step on that ground, it's a special moment in front of a full house at Lords under lights. Is something to behold, to even see, sit in the crowd watch, but to be able to play, it's special.
Yeah, because I've been to Lords a few times, and just looking down on the pitch, I thought, wow, imagine if I could actually play on that pitch one day. Obviously I won't, but you you just take that like one moment to think, imagine if I could get a chance to play here. That would be amazing. But then like people like you, lucky enough to play on it pretty much every week during the cricket season, like, that must feel pretty special.
Yeah, like I say, it has a special meaning to everyone, every cricket fan. But yeah, to fulfil that dream and be able to play there and being able to work from Lords majority of the summer is, yeah, it's just special. Like you can't really put it into words sometimes, because unless, like you said, you experience it different ways as a fan. I've experienced it as a fan. I've experienced it as a player.
Yeah,
and both moments are very special. So it's
like even as a fan,
really quite hard.
Even as a fan going there, I felt privileged to like watch. I think I went England versus South Africa Test match, must have been like 8 years ago. But even as a fan, I felt privileged to be there just to watch England playing South Africa at Lords. Like it felt special. But then as a player, that must feel even more special, you know.
Yeah, it does.
So, you've also been lucky enough to play alongside some very experienced players who played in World Cups, such as Dal Milan, Paul Sterling, A.B. de Villiers, Stephen Finn, and also Eoin Morgan is your captain. Like that must feel pretty cool to have Eoin Morgan as your captain, like, because he's arguably one of the best captains in the world.
Yeah,
like that is pretty cool.
Yeah, he is the best, one of the best white ball. Well, he's probably the best white ball captain in the world at the moment. Yeah. He has been for a number of years. So, like I said, even my debut, just having him as captain, he just gives you that sense of calm and that belief that you can achieve anything on the field, which helps a lot when you're nervous or you just might be struggling for form. He always has your back. He always is calm, and as well as that, he's quite fair. If he thinks you can do something better, he'll tell you think you can do something better as well. So it's not always about that. It's about how he motivates the team as well. So yeah, he's a very good captain. But yeah, mentioning them players there, when you sit back and you think about all the players that Middlesex that you've played with, it's quite special. I think in my debut, I think every player in that side now has played for England or played international cricket. We had like Franklin, Compton. I think who else played? Kyle Abbott played that night.
Oh yeah.
John Simpson's now played for England. Toby Rowland-Jones, Stephen Finn. Keep going. I can't think of everyone that played that night, but obviously Sterling, Milan, Morgan played that night. I don't think I really missed anyone there. So I'm pretty sure I might be the only player in that played that night that was never played international cricket, which is a feather in your hat to think that you could be able to play with them blokes, the calibre of them players. So
yeah,
it's always a nice thing to have.
So if you were to play international cricket, would you choose Australia or England?
I've chosen to play my cricket in England because I want to play international cricket for England. Yeah. So when I come over at the sign of declaration that said I would play for England if I wanted to play county cricket, and that's what I chose to do.
Okay.
I got a English heritage with my mother and my grandmother, and obviously that goes back. So it'd be nice to one day if I get the opportunity, but no idea.
Hopefully you do, because obviously you are a very good cricketer, and if you do get called up for England, I'll be like, oh, one day I interviewed this chap. He seemed like a really nice guy. Like that would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool, and that'd be good.
So going back to Morgan as captain, in my first podcast, I talked about Morgan as captain, and me and my other friend, we agreed on him being like, we thought he seemed like the kind of guy who like cares about the players, and like even if you're in bad form, he like still picks you and he backs you.
Yeah, 100% correct. I think you can see what he's done with that England side. He's given obviously them that confidence that they can play their free flying cricket. There's that fear element out there. He backs them to the hills and gives them opportunity after opportunity, or the selectors do as well, to be able to, because there's an element of risk when you play that way, how England want to play, that sometimes it's not going to work, as we've seen probably in that World Cup semi-final.
Yeah.
he's backed Chris Jordan all tournament, and it wasn't his day. And the same as Chris Wokes at the end, it wasn't his night. So
yeah,
it's just, I think he gives that. So I think that England team would be better off for that experience again. I think going into the World Cup again next year in Australia, you put your money on Chris Jordan being the man that could win it for England. So
yeah,
that's the kind of confidence Morgan would probably be saying again to Chris Jordan. It's one of them nights. You'll go again. We've seen that probably with the Ben Stokes, like that disappointment of 2016 World Cup where he got hit for 3-4 sixes in a row. And England lose the World Cup final. You look at what Ben Stokes done as a cricketer since that. It's probably made him as a cricketer. So I think Eoin Morgan has a lot to do with that, with installing that commitment of that you can play the way you want to play, and that fearless, and it takes the pressure off the players as well.
He seems like a brave captain as well. He takes risks, like opening Mo and Ali as well in the World Cup few games. I thought, what's Morgan doing opening Mo and Ali? But like, he knows what he's doing. I clearly didn't know what I was doing because it worked as well. I think I don't know how many wickets he got, but he kept a really good economy rate and got wickets.
Yeah, and I'm sure like he does a lot of his homework on international cricket, and they're the biggest games at the moment for England. He loves playing for them, so I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He'd be looking into matchups and a lot of that stuff it looks like a risk on the outside to the general public, but the in-depth of what he goes through with the analyst and the players, that he knows that's a good option at that time. And yeah, it might look slightly risky, but if you're certain and give your players confidence in that, it sometimes comes off.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true. So, moving on to the 100. So you were involved in the 100 with the Over Invincibles. So tell me a bit about your experience with in the 100 and what that meant to you being in the squad.
Yeah, it was a great experience to be able to get into a franchise and to be recognised for performances and get picked up in the drafts, or back in 2019. Now, it was a long time ago. But yeah, it was just that experience was something cool. It was different, something I never done before. So went in there, eyes open, ears open, listening to everything, taking in what you can. You're rubbing shoulders with some of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Like Jason Roy, Narayan, Shamsi. Like for myself as spinners, like as a spinner, to even work with them, chat to them about bowling. Tom Moody, experienced Australian player back in the day. So have him as head coach was being able to like get information out of them when we needed to. Yeah, and it was obviously different. I didn't play much. I only played the one game, but playing that game was the first men's game of the competition, and at the Oval full house. That was crazy as well. Like the atmosphere that night was insane.
Yeah, I do remember watching on TV, and I said to myself, "Oh, I wish I could be there," because it looks so sick. Just the atmosphere, all the fans, the cricket players, even the shirts as well, with like the sponsors. I love the shirts cool. And everything. But in the first game, you did get 2 wickets, I think.
Yeah, correct.
But also, like, you must have felt a bit unlucky not to play any other games.
Yeah, it was obviously disappointing. You always want to play. You want to show what your skills are. But sometimes that's how it goes. It was franchise cricket. We had some, like, at the time we had the best T20 bowler in the world in Shamsi. We had Narayan, who's proven across the world he's one of the best T20 bowlers ever to play. So it was disappointing, but that's just how it goes sometimes. It was still good to be a part of it because you learn so much. You get to still bowl in the nets of the best batters in your team, and the Billings, Roy, in Curran and all them kind of boys that were there, Will Jacks. So it's an experience. Obviously, hopefully, I get picked up again and get that opportunity to play and show what I can do again. But I've done myself proud on that first night, because that's what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to go out there and show them what I could do, and I did that. And then the rest is out of my control, kind of thing.
Yeah. So as a fan, the 100 I thought was absolutely incredible. I was lucky enough to go to one game, and that was the Invincibles versus Spirit, I think, at the Oval. Full house, packed house, like Will Jacks, Laurie Evans, absolutely annihilating the bowlers of London Spirit. Won us the game. Honestly, it was probably one of the best cricket games I've been to. Like, watching 100 on TV and at that game as well was just incredible. Like, I love the whole concept of it. I just loved everything about it. Like, I watched all the women's games, all the men's games, and I can't wait for the next season.
It was an exciting format. I thought the games, just the difference in like little things in the rules. To when a batter got caught, the new batter was always on strike.
Yeah,
it just changed dynamics of the game, and it just felt as a player. Obviously, I watched a lot, so you take in probably more than sometimes when you play.
Yeah,
you just seen how the games developed and how they swung and turned. So it's definitely an interesting format, and I think it'll only get better and better as years go on.
Yes. So, moving on away from cricket a little bit. I believe you're a Newcastle fan, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Sadly, at the moment, we're not very good.
But I mean, you have been taken over.
Which is exciting, I guess.
That's exciting, but you need to wait till January to get new players in.
Yeah, I think it's a funny one, and that January is going to come. I think we're in a bit of trouble. We need to start winning a few games to get some points on the table before January comes, and depends how much money they can spend in that window, which obviously with the fair play stuff, you're not really sure what's going to happen. But I think with Eddie Howe coming in, hopefully he starts off well on Saturday and gets the boys on the front foot.
Yes, so they haven't won a game yet, have they?
No. It's been painful watching.
Maybe in January, you never know. I think they got a £200 million budget. I think.
Yeah.
So maybe if they bring in like five or so players, maybe they can avoid a relegation.
Yeah, they're going to need at least 10 wins, probably, aren't they? So with no wins on the board, with only 12 games in, maybe I think they're up against it. But you hope the money coming in, and even if they manage to stay up, it could be exciting few years ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I really like Eddie Howe as a manager with what he did with Bournemouth as well. I think he can do a good job with Newcastle.
Well, yeah, you've seen he's worked with a few of the players like Chalmers and Ryan Fraser, so they know the style he's going to try to play. So, and he got the best out of them for a lot of years down in Bournemouth. So hopefully they can link back up and get Newcastle back on winning ways.
Okay, so let's go back to cricket for a bit. So what advice would you give to someone who's wanting to be a professional cricketer or professional spinner? Because I'm a spinner myself. Like some weeks, obviously I'm not good enough to be a professional cricketer. I should play like Saturday and Sunday league games. But sometimes I get a few wickets for not many runs. But then sometimes, obviously, as a spinner, you can get smacked around a bit.
Yeah, that's such a hard one as advice goes. I think you have to be patient as a spinner, especially in the UK. Sometimes the weather doesn't always help give you a helping hand. But yeah, I think patience would be number one for me. If the more I'm patient, I try to bowl my best balls. That's when you probably get the best out of what you're going to do. And like you said, you can't judge yourself on what you watch on TV. I fall into that trap sometimes. You watch videos of Shane Warne swing at 4 foot and you think you can be Shane Warne.
Yeah.
But really, everyone has their own style and you kind of got to find the strengths for that. So it's just finding out what you're good at and then utilising that and getting better and better. And then hopefully you get into a position where you can put yourself into a professional environment.
Yeah, because there was one week I got 4 wickets for like 10 runs from like 5 overs, which I was pretty proud of. And then the next week, I bowled a 12 ball over And I got hit for like 4 sixes and 1 over. So yeah,
I've been there.
yeah,
It happens. It happens, and that's the thing. It's I think sometimes everyone would rather talk about the bad stuff, but the week before you bowled really well, so you kind of got to weigh up. Some days, like we were saying before, it might not be your day, and that's how it goes.
You just gotta like take it in and think next week. What do I gotta do to be better? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just got to be. I think as a spinner, you got to be quite very level because you got to love the challenge of someone trying to hit you for 6. Because if they try to hit you for 6, there's the chance they could get out as well. So
yeah, because they try and hit it too hard, they completely miss the ball, get bowled out, so on.
Exactly.
Because most of my wickets this season were caught because I bowl quite slow, and they think they can absolutely smash me out of the park, and they either completely mistime it or miss the ball completely and get out. So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we've got time for. Would you like to say any last words or anything?
I'd just like to thank you for having me on. It's been great to have a chat and wish you all the well with your schoolwork and your cricket in the future.
Well, thank you very much for joining me. Taking time out of the day to do this. Thank you very much. It means a lot.
No trouble at all.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.